So again, my name is Jonathan Carlone, and I work here at the Brown University School of Professional Studies. Here at SPS, we inspire and prepare graduate and professional learners to transform the way the world works for good. The mission of the School of Professional Studies is to draw on Brown University's commitment to academic excellence, intellectual freedom, and diversity equity to create and deliver programs that empower learners at all career stages to transform themselves, their workplaces, and the communities they serve. We offer a number of programs, including today's information session on applied AI and data science. We are also excited to be launching this week a human-centered AI, and this is a course based on the human-centeredness of AI and how it's going to affect all of us in our organizations and in our lives. That class is starting up today, but we are accepting enrollments for the new cohort that will be starting up in the fall. We also offer a number of mindfulness-based classes, mindfulness-based stress reduction, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, as well as a number of other short programs. We also offer programs in communications and leadership, as well as leadership coaching. As well as, of course, we also have our master's programs, master's in MBA, master's in health, and master's in technology, as well as a number of other graduate and master's degrees. So we're happy that you're here. There's a number of things that you can take with us, and we'd love to have you join us, especially for this class. So I'm going to start with a short presentation. While I go through the presentation, again, you can add any questions you might have in the chat or in the question and answer box at the bottom of your screen. After the presentation, I will open it up for some dialogue, and then we will end the program. So again, this program is just running from 12 to 12:30, and we're happy that you are here. So I'm just going to switch over to share my screen. Excellent. Excellent. The Applied AI and Data Science Information Session. This is here at the Brown University School of Professional Studies. And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this information session. Today, we're going to be exploring how this program can help you transform raw data into powerful organizational assets. The data-driven revolution, information is abundant, and the ability to transform that raw data into actionable, predictive insight is the ultimate competitive advantage in the modern economy. And why is this field so critical? Because understanding how to use information effectively is a game changer. Currently, the demand for specialists in this area is growing by 30% annually, and the top global demand, according to the World Economic Forum, ranks AI and machine learning specialists among the absolute highest in-demand roles across all global industries. We have to further consider that 35% of Amazon's revenue and 75% of Netflix's viewership are driven by their recommendation engines. This is using data and their data of usage and buying of the public, and is turning that data by models that they have built into recommendation engines. McKinsey also reports that data-driven organizations are 23 more times likely to acquire new customers and 6 times more likely to retain them. Beyond strategy, AI drives efficiency. Accucentric found that it can increase profitability by an average of 38% by 2035. These are great benchmarks, and these are great numbers that we really need to look at. That AI, why is this field so critical, and how is AI changing the organizational assets that you have and changing it so you can make better decisions? A little bit about the program. This program offers an industry-aligned learning path through a flexible online asynchronous classroom. While we recommend a basic understanding of math and programming, you don't need to be an expert to start. We use Python and Google Chrome, and while we don't teach Python fundamentals directly, we provide an extensive external resources of tutorials, including tutorial links from Brown University's own computer science department to help get you up to speed. You will have 12 weeks to give you a high-level look. This is a 12-week self-paced program with bi-monthly enrollment cycles. It features monthly optional live online master classes with the instructor and the individual who prepared all this curriculum, as well as weekly advising sessions that you can sign up with the TA to support your learning. The tuition for this is $2,995, and that can be paid in a 2 installment plan if you so wish. What you will take away from this, you will earn a certificate of completion and a digital badge from the Brown University School of Professional Studies. You'll also be proficient in industry standard tools like Python, NIMBY, and Pandas, and you will have the skills to build machine learning models that significantly enhance business decision making. You'll learn the essentials of generative AI and some of where that is going in the future and how that affects what we do now. And you'll be able to have build, train, and deploy machine learning models that you'll learn while in the class. The curriculum pathway will start with the foundations of data science, understanding statistics in the core Python libraries. You'll then be understanding the data. You'll be understanding the data, preparing the model, and training the model. These courses will take you through the master data collection, transformation. You'll also be able to build, evaluate, supervise, and unsupervised models, as well as training and executing the model evaluation, fine-tuning, and optimization. You'll finally, about the latter half of the program, dives into deep learning, including neural networks like CNNs and generative AI, where you'll review the systems and models like GANs and diffusion models. Finally, this class will end with a capstone designed to design, train, and deliver a polished real-world AI solution. The capstone projects will have two options. You'll have option one or option two. One is based on credit card fraud analysis, and the other one is advertising regression model. Now, you might say to yourself, I don't work in finance and I don't work in advertising or marketing. But the idea of these are real world applications, real world opportunities and case studies that worked and that were a real case study that did happen. And it's developing a robust model using data science and machine learning and to accurately identify fraudulent transactions. This involves analyzing numerical and categorical data to uncover patterns indicative of fraud. So even though you may not be in the credit card business or finance world and not looking for fraud, looking at the data, large numbers, large data set, and trying to uncover patterns of numbers and where that might be going is going to be key no matter what the industry is that you're in. The other option, advertising regression model, is analyzing the collected advertising and sales data to identify the most cost-effective combination of advertising and expensive. This analysis is going to help you, as if you were the agency, make data-driven decisions in allocating its advertising budget. This, of course, can be work in whether you're in production or any other industry, finding out what is the most cost-effective, where are efficiencies, and where you should be making your investments for your organization. So this program will conclude with these capstone projects after you go through the first lessons that we viewed in the path. This is going to help you really have a final project that you will submit and will be reviewed by the teaching team. In terms of your schedule, you can expect about an average weekly commitment of 4 to 5 hours. This includes all of our video learning time, ranging from 18 minutes for the introduction to about 7 hours for preparing the model in a later lesson, as well as knowledge checks and assignments. Some weeks with industry-aligned projects may require some more time. Again, this is asynchronous video learning, so it's all video based. The videos can be paused, rewound, and rewatched again, so you can make sure that you have learned the material that you're reviewing. The course knowledge checks and industry-aligned portfolio assignments are again just to make sure that you are learning and absorbing the information that you will have. These are supported again by weekly advising sessions that you can have with the TA, and those are optional, as well as the optional academic masterclass with the core instructor. And the masterclasses are monthly 2-hour sessions where he will review a particular piece of the curriculum or something that might be happening in current events. And then the other half of the program will be open to question and answer and just dialogue with you, the learner. And it's a really great time to check in with him and check in with the curriculum and make sure that you are, again, absorbing and understanding the material that he's created for you. So it's few prerequisites to this. Again, the core knowledge is just a basic understanding of mathematics and programming. Prior working experience is encouraged, but again, not strictly required. You will need to use Google Chrome and Python, but we do use those programs in the free versions of Python, so you won't need a subscription. If you don't have one, that will be okay. The curriculum does not teach Python, but again, we do have a wide berth and a wide library of tutorials and information that you can check in on and continue to learn the information, including LinkedIn Learning and information from our data science and computer science departments here at Brown University. So success will depend entirely on your motivation to master the fundamentals alongside the core AI coursework. So if you are ready to unlock the power of data, the course is open soon. Again, we accept enrollments every other month. So we just started our April 1st cohort, and that will run for 12 weeks from April, May, and June. And our next enrollment will open up in June 1st, that you will have access from June, July, and August. That is full access to the entire program. that you will have. So you can go through this very quickly. I've seen some individuals who finish it in about half the time, and other individuals who finish it just in time. We do also offer an extension if you definitely need one. Just by attending today's info session, we are also happy to offer you an info session code for 10% off enrollment. So you can use the code in front of you, info10, and that is just a special code that we're happy for you to have. If you would like to call us or reach out to us, our email and our links are there on the page as well. We also have advising sessions with our recruitment team. These are individuals who are well versed in the program and can answer any of your questions that you might have that we weren't able to get to today. So thank you everybody for joining me and in that info session. And if you have any questions that we'd like to answer, again, we have about half the time to go. So in the next 15 minutes, I'm happy to open up the time to you. And if you have any questions about the program, about how it might run, or anything that you might have, please feel free. I see one question. Spencer, yeah, asked, will the slides be available or sent out after? We do send a copy of this info session along with all of the links. The slides aren't always included, but if you do email us at executiveeducation@brown.edu, I'll be sure that we get those out to you. So if you want to reach out to us and just give us an email, again, that's at execution execution@brown.edu. Our team will make sure that we get you a copy of these slides. You will get a copy of this info session with links to other past info sessions. That'll probably go out from our marketing team in just a couple of days here. By the end of the week, you should be hearing from them. Excellent. You asked, can we do a different capstone? That is a great question. Um, I don't know for sure. So we use the capstones that we have because we obviously know what the data should be. What we're really looking for is that you're able to build a model based on the data that is given to you. We provide the data set. It's a very large data set for either of the capstones. I will reach out to the teaching team and ask them if there is an opportunity for learners to have their own capstone that they might be able to use. I'm not sure about that. I think the idea is that everybody obviously is being judged and reviewed with the same information and the same type of assignment. So you might be able to talk about your current example or something that affects your work and your industry and maybe get there, just kind of ask them some questions and ask for some help. But I don't know that we would let you create your own capstone at this point. So, let's see a question here. How many semesters? So this is offered for, again, just 12 weeks. We offer this to start. You can enroll every other month. So again, the cohort just started, one of them just started on April 1st, and that'll go for 12 weeks. So April, May, and June, and end at the end of June. The next cohort starts on June 1st. So if you were to go and enroll, you can enroll in that one. That would give you access to the material from June, July, and August. And our next cohort would then start in August 1st, which would run from August, September to October. So we do this that way so that there's always kind of a space between, but you have 12 weeks to review the material. You have full access. Once you register for the class, we give you access to all the tutorial information if you'd like. And then on the first day of the cohort start, so in this case, anyone who registers today, it would be June 1st. On June 1st, you would then have full access to all of the material. Good. Yeah, I definitely, Spencer, yeah, looking for, yeah, again, I will make sure to get this question to the teaching team. I think we have your email when you signed up for the info session. So I will be sure to ask to sign, ask that question if there's any way we can have you create your own capstone and just what that would look like. So that's a great question, and I think certainly a fair understanding. Excellent. Yeah, somebody else is asking, how many videos are there? So yeah, between in the curriculum, again, there are 6 specific lessons, and within each lesson is a handful of videos. So each lesson is broken up to about 5 or 6 different video sets. We try not to make any one video lesson very long, no longer than an hour. But an entire lesson might be, like I said, about I think one is about um, 7 hours long altogether. So I think there might be 7 distinct video lessons within that. Each one might be a little bit longer than that, than an hour. But we want to try to make it so you can watch these during lunch or after hours. We know many of our workers, many of our learners are full-time workers. So they need to be able to watch, pause, might come back to it. Again, you can jump ahead or you can move back as much as you want. However, you might need to feel if you thought you learn something in a lesson and then you're in the next lesson and find that maybe you're a little confused, you can always go back and rewatch something as well. Yes, that's a great question. Again, Spencer is asking, is it possible to get a sense of the math and levels needed? We'll certainly ask. I believe it's just very basic, um, basic understanding of Python and coding, and just a basic, statistical math and nothing too deep. It's definitely not a basic course in coding. It's not meant to be a basic course in Python. So you should have a little bit of just knowledge and experience with that. But again, you don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be in IT, just somebody who wants to learn how to use, AI models to look at data in their organization. So we've seen many people in sales, again, in finance and in other areas that are, in production, that are looking at lots of data and trying to figure out, make some best case decisions for their company. Great. Yes, the someone else asked, the master classes are recorded. Again, those are 2 hours. They're offered every month on a Tuesday evening from 7 to 9 on Eastern Standard Time. You'll be notified when those are coming up, so you'll know long ahead when the next master class will be. You'll have a chance to jump on and talk directly to the instructor. It's built as a meeting style Zoom. So you'll just be jumping on Zoom, much like this, but it's a meeting style, so you can see and talk to the instructor about anything you might like or any questions you might have about the course. And again, it is a great opportunity to talk with him and just kind of have any questions you might have. Again, they are recorded and you can watch them afterwards. You can actually watch a lot of the past master classes. We save that library within the course itself. So if you wanted to go and watch a master class from 3 months ago, that would be available to you. You might learn something from it, but it might not pertain to anything in particular, but you can definitely always just go back and watch those. Yes. Great. All right. Well, I'll wait for a couple more minutes for some questions. If there's no more questions, we can just give us some more time back to our day. Again, I do appreciate everybody coming here today. As I said, the mission here at the Brown University School of Professional Studies is to help graduates create a better place, to make the way the world works better, whether that is in your organization or in your community, in your circle of influence. We do that by a number of programs, including applied AI and data science. We have a number of other leadership, communications, and mindfulness courses. So if there's no other questions, I'll wait just another minute and then we will end today's session. Thank you again for coming. We will follow up with an email with all the important links for enrollment and additional information. Again, if you did have any questions that we were not answered, please feel free to reach out to us either by calling or emailing us. And next month, we will have another info session that you can sign up for now that's available. And that's going to be with the instructor where he will dig in and answer some more questions you might have and more information you might need. So again, thank you so much for coming. I enjoyed speaking with you all today and being able to answer your questions. Again, if you have any more questions or need anything else, please feel free to give us a call or send us an email. Thank you very much, and you have a great afternoon, everybody.